Hello! Real quick, this is a part 2 of my Fear the Spotlight review. I recommend watching part 1. Also, there is a potential seizure warning at this time. I will have text in the top left-hand corner a little before that as a reminder for people to pause and jump ahead a bit. I kind of plan on talking about everything, so I've included chapters down below. Use them to bounce around, and let's get on with the video. I really cannot tell you how much I love this chapter. When I first loaded it up, my eyes popped out of my head because I was that surprised to see and play the game from Amy's perspective. I can no longer see now. Please, help me. Now, for the most part, she does play like Vivian. However, there are differences in her gameplay and story that make her feel like her own character and not just a reskin. A little detail is Amy will react to things differently than Vivian. Thinking a crappy drawing of her depicted as a devil is rad, where Vivian is disgusted by the depiction. I love small details like that. Amy is equipped with a lockpick and cell phone, the lockpick allowing us to... Wait, why am I dedicating a section of the script to this? It's a fucking lockpick. It's self-explanatory. You pick fucking locks with it. Amy's phone functions as her flashlight, but more importantly, it gives us context on what's going on in her life, both in the present and in the past. Amy is tasked with setting up the table for the seance. When walking over to the table, the lights start to flicker and go out. The mural now displays the charred portraits of the dead students, and an ominous figure stands in the walkway, blocking your path. When approaching the figure, he blinks away, because somebody snapped us back to reality. Gee, thanks, Vivian. You could have saved us 2+ hours of horror and sadness. The seance goes awry, but when the candles get snuffed out... You're not Vivian!
Viv!
Oh, there she is. Vivian! Quick, we have to leave! Okay, is anyone getting a sense of deja vu? No, I'm being serious. I feel like this has happened before. We are now in the disheveled library. After investigating both an odd but familiar poster and a locker that I assume belongs to Chrissy Castro, that some jackass with a forklift parked on the stage. To all the single ladies out there, I've got my certification. We escape through a tunnel labeled home, and after crawling through it, we end up in the sewer where we can hear someone calling for help.
Please, help me.
It's the man we saw earlier. Ah, you got banned for saying hi as well, huh? Quiet in there. After unlocking the door, he glitches away. The prison door shuts and is replaced with a very unnecessary convoluted lock. Like, I feel like this is kind of overkill, don't you think? Oh, and we are now imprisoned. However, this is not your standard prison, but a mental one. And it's here why I absolutely love this chapter. So grab your side portals, because we are entering the mind of Amy Tanaka to explore her life, her ups and downs, her fears and sorrow, and to break her free from her own mental prison. Amy's prison is her old home.
What? My old house?
We learned this by going through her mail. Isn't that a federal crime? Well, yes, but technically no. See, this is just a memory, so the rules don't apply. Also, when did you become a cop? Since now. Shit. I've got a runner. Something I wasn't expecting was this altar near the front door of her house, implying that Amy has a bit of a religious background. Well, at least her mother does, because the altar and all the relics that you go around collecting are hers. I did find this quite odd because goths and churches go as well as people and cars. Ooh. So right off the bat, I was thinking, oh, the devs made Amy a goth to offset her religious parents as a way to rebel against them or something of that nature. Oh man, was I wrong for thinking that? Because it could be the fact that she comes from a broken home. The puzzle in the backyard tells us everything about Amy's fear and family life with the minimum amount of context, something I'll go into detail about. In the center sits she, a lone prize to behold, surrounded by those who left her cold. First went the grandparents 2 by 2. Different tongues, distant lands, they bid adieu. Her father, selfish and gone, to a new family's embrace, he moved on. Her mother, burdened with work's heavy load, struggled to keep the family's abode. Her brother promised to return, never did, leaving memories unbid. Lastly, her crush, unable to stay, fled from the fear, couldn't find a way. Alone she sits now, in silence profound, in the ruins of those no longer around. If we venture into Amy's mother's closet, we find a dissolution of marriage, i.e. a divorce file /form. Amy was 9 when this was ongoing and when her mother got custody. And despite winning the custody battle, that's when it all went downhill, as we learned that Mary, Amy's mother, was behind on bills, specifically the electric service bill, which, because she was behind on payments, they turned their power off. To help remedy the situation, Mary would start working double shifts, which somewhat worked, but it turned into this on-again, off-again situation, as Amy recalls that the power outages were a consistent issue. Sadly, from what we know, she ended up losing the house, but more importantly, she was less in Amy's life. Amy's brother June is someone she had a close but now distant relationship with. In the beginning, they would play video games, watch TV, whoa, welcome back to Explode and Subscribe, and movies together. And during the power outages, he'd lie to Amy, blaming the outages on storms. He probably did this to help put Amy at ease because, again, she was 9. June also figured out a way to circumvent their power situation, as he researched and found that a truck battery could be strong enough to start a washer and dryer, so they wouldn't have to worry about laundry during their blackouts. Unfortunately, June and Amy became distant after their father's health took a nosedive. June had humored the idea to go see his father. Feeling bad for his decline in health, Amy was the opposite, deciding to stay behind because of her malice toward her father, and was upset with June for his decision. And because of his choice, she didn't want him to talk with her anymore. A decision she'd come to regret, as Amy was even lonelier, having one less person around in her life. It's okay, Amy. Personally, I don't have any siblings, but I get the father issues. You know, I'm still waiting on him to return with the milk and cigarettes. I'm, still waiting. Aw, thanks, Amy. But, I'm not crying. That dripping sound is coming from bootleg Sadako behind you. Well, that was horrifying. This is the Woman of Black Waters, aka Bootleg Sadako. I fucking hate that. There's even a reference to her, at least I think it's a reference, where the TV will abruptly flicker on and loud static will play. It just sucks that she doesn't crawl out of it. When compared to the walking lamppost, I find her more unnerving. Just how she shambles around, always in a hunched position, like she's not quite there, only straightening up when she's alerted by your presence. Every step she takes sounds like she's wading through water. There's even a creepy detail where ripples of water will appear around her feet whenever she walks. And the music that plays when she quickly shambles towards you. It gets me every time. She is a monster that's unique to Amy. But why is she unique to Amy? I hear no one asking. It's because of this rated R horror movie, The Woman of Black Waters. Her brother June picked up the movie because Amy wanted a horror flick. Personally, my favorite genre. However, when he picked up the movie, he forgot to check the rating. Because Amy watched this mature film at such a young age and remembers that this movie gave her nightmares. That's why the Woman of Black Waters is here with us, walking the halls of her old house, trying to get her. She might even be reliving a scene from the movie. At least that's how I understood it. And that's everything for the first floor. Return all the missing altar items, obtain the moon medal, slap that on the lock, and stairs will spawn in, allowing us access to the... Hold on a moment. Don't interrupt me. Allowing us access to the second floor. Now it's here where I want to talk about Amy's father, but more importantly, his new lover, because she actually ended up being more interesting than the father. The father was cheating on Mary with another woman, and he would use the excuse of work trips to go see her. I know the father's a POS for doing this. We don't know his reasoning for getting a divorce. He may have been unhappy or unfulfilled in his relationship. I'm only getting this idea because he likes blues. I'm not saying these are valid reasons for a divorce. I also want to bash the gal he would visit, Erika, as well. Rather than turning him away because, he's married, she knows this, she continued to talk with him, encouraging this behavior, her casually saying she's going to find out about us sooner or later. It made my blood boil. Despite that, I'm very mixed on Erika. I want to hate her, but she took some actions that redeemed her a bit, at least in my eyes. When the father fell ill, it turns out he suffered from a heart attack. It was Erika who reached out to June via email telling him that his father specifically requested him to visit and that they were even willing to pay for his flight, and that dad sent him his suitcase to use. This email just gave us more insight and motivation on why June chose to visit his father, but shockingly, this email was signed by Dad's wife. After getting the Amy doll, you get a sudden call from June.
Hello?
Oh, Amy? Hi, this is Erika. Look, I didn't know how else to reach you. There's been an accident. And, look, you and your mom need to come right away. I'm so sorry.
I could feel Amy's hatred, malice, and disinterest the second Erika started talking. Erika was clearly panicked about something when she was talking with Amy, and it must have been important if she's asking not only her, but her mother to come over right away. I believe Erika knows she's the last person they want to see, let alone hear from, but despite that, she still tried to inform them on something. It speaks volumes to me that despite the detestment against Erika, she made an attempt to inform Amy, but was shut down before she can get a word out. When Amy abruptly ended that call, the room got cold, and you could sense there's a thick layer of regret in the air. But at that moment, Amy just didn't care. After you enter the attic, you'll receive one last message. It's from your father. I was taken aback by this because these are the only two messages we get from him, and he's apologizing about June. Why would he be apologizing? The accident that was mentioned was about him, right? Then it unfortunately clicked when entering the other side of the attic as you walk into a funeral hall with a chained up casket in the center of the platform. Amy attended a funeral, not for her father, but for her brother June. This explains the remorseful message your father sends you, why Erika had June's phone,
Hi, this is Erika.
why you could hear sirens in the background. This was the accident she was trying to tell Amy about.
There's been an accident.
You don't need to see that again.
What? June, it's really you. I've missed you so much.
Me too. But you can't stay. You need to leave before it's too late.
What? No! I can't leave! I finally get to see you and... Don't you want to see me too?
Amy. You know this thing is messing with your head. You've got to get out of here.
Can I just stay for a little while?
I would love that. But you can't let this thing keep you, Amy. Time's up. You need to hurry.
It's not fair. I miss you. I'm so sorry, June, for everything.
I'm sorry too. Now get out of here. Take this and go. Run out that front door and don't look back.
I love the final conversation between June and Amy. It's sweet, happy, and uplifting, but also a bit sad. Whereas Amy doesn't want to leave because she gets to see her brother again, and June telling her she needs to leave because things aren't right, you're being messed with and it's not safe here. Amy's given a bit of closure as they quickly say their goodbyes, and she finds herself alone, holding the key to her freedom. What sucks is she isn't given time to grief, as there's an uninvited guest joining the reception. Can you not? She's going through some things. Ow! Blink and you'll miss it. So there's something I didn't see coming, except for earlier. The Woman of Black Waters is actually Spotlight. I believe he took this form because Amy has no memory, familiarity, yeah, there it is, or connection to him outside this creepy interaction. But a monster she has a lot of familiarity, there's that word again, why did I put that in there twice? Trauma and fear is the Woman of Black Waters. It would make sense for him to use a memory that terrifies her because of that connection. Since she's puppy guarding the walkway, nobody likes a puppy guarder. You have to sneak around her and make a mad dash for the door, but nobody can escape bootlegs. As Sadako hears and catches up with you, stopping you from locking the attic door. But there's something that monsters like these always forget about, and that's the power of... hammer. What? Did you think I was gonna say love? No, I'm saving that for this part. As we walk toward the exit, let's talk about the light in Amy's life. Vivian. Vivian is Amy's world, her light in the dark. The only good thing in her life, and without her, she'd have nothing. To just show how important Vivian is to Amy, after watching herself get whisked away, the first thing she thinks of is opening the door to get back with her. And her feelings go deeper than just her thoughts, as you can stumble across what I like to call static memories. These are glitchy static items that hold a very special memory to Amy, as they revolve around a moment shared with Vivian. There's a total of 4, with the exception of 1. The board game project was the first time Amy was introduced to Vivian. After moving to a new school, Vivian volunteered to be her partner, complimenting her clothes and genuinely welcoming her.
Okay. Listen up. Amy will be joining our class today. Since we already started on our projects, I need one of you to volunteer to have Amy as a partner.
She can join my project.
Ah, thank you, Vivian. Amy, go ahead and take a seat with her.
Hi.
Hey.
I really like your outfit.
Someone else said the same thing this morning. Then left.
No, I mean it. Really.
Well, thanks. You know, I'm just surprised since I've been getting dirty looks all morning.
Ugh, sorry. That sucks. People here can be pretty mean to anyone who looks different. Anyways, let me show you what I've done so far.
Amy's MP3 Player is about her and Vivian sharing their music tastes and becoming closer as friends, ending with a little bit of teasing.
Oh, here's your MP3 player back. Your playlist was really fun to listen to.
Well, what'd you think?
I don't really listen to rock music, so it was all new to me. That last song didn't have great audio quality, but I really like the guitar parts.
Well, that one is actually by me and my brother.
Oh gosh, I didn't mean it was bad. It's just, lo-fi.
It's okay. We literally recorded it in our attic. But I'm glad you liked it.
You're both great.
So now that I've shared one of my songs with you, you have to share one of your piano recitals with me.
Oh, no. You really don't want to hear that. I was so bad at piano, my mom made me quit.
The exception voicemail just happens without an item. It's again Amy spending more time with Vivian, but we get some paranormal activity stalking Amy.
Thanks for sitting through chess club with me. Sure you don't want to ride home?
Yeah, I'll hang here in the cafeteria until my mom gets off.
Oh, looks like my dad is here. See you tomorrow.
See ya. Hello? Vivian, are you still here? Hey, who's there? Quit messing around. Forget this, I'm walking home.
I assume after this mysterious interaction, the burned rose appears in her locker, kickstarting this adventure.
What is that? It's a rose I found in my locker last week. I don't know how it got in there, but it's all burnt and old.
Vivian's library card. Vivian asked Amy for help, wanting suggestions on her occult-themed Halloween display, and after Amy pitched some suggestions and teased Vivian a bit, Amy realized that Vivian might feel the same way that she does about her.
Since it's almost Halloween, I was thinking of making the library display occult themed.
Really? That's so cool. You aren't doing it just because, I like that stuff, are you?
What? No, it fits the season, and...
I'm just teasing. Need any suggestions?
Yes, please.
Well, you'll definitely need some tarot cards. And a spirit board would be perfect.
Noted.
Burned Rose tells us the conversation before Amy and Vivian broke into the school to perform the seance.
My mom is totally cool with you sleeping over tonight. We'll meet at my place. Once my mom leaves for work, we can sneak into the library.
Right. Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Are you sure we can't just do the seance at your house?
No, it has to be at school. Yeah, I get a feeling it's close to the spirit world or something. Maybe because there was a tragedy there.
You don't sound too confident.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out. See you tonight.
So Amy regrets doing this now, but in the heat of the moment, she was excited, head over heels to do something that she really likes, which is the occult stuff, with someone that she hopes feels the same way as she does. In their defense, who expects this to actually work? Summoning a spotlight demon and then warping back to 1991, uncovering a cover-up conspiracy? I sure as hell didn't. I wanted to show all the voicemails in full to show the growth between Amy and Vivian. Going from two lonely strangers who were viewed as different, who took that loneliness and turned it into a companionship that slowly and naturally bloomed into a healthy relationship, one that looks out and cares for one another, one that goes through hell and high water to get back to one another.
Thank you for coming after me. I don't think I would have made it out of there without you.
Amy, I was so scared too. Scared I'd never see you again.
Scared I wouldn't be able to tell you. All night I've been wanting to share something with you. I even wrote it all down because I was afraid to say it, but I'm done being afraid. Amy, I like you. You know, in that way.
Oh, Viv. I'm so sorry about tonight. I only did all of this to try to impress you. Because, well, I feel the same way.
So hopefully with how I explained Amy's sad backstory, I was able to paint a picture of the importance of Vivian in Amy's life. Because now we have to go rescue her. Vivian was caught snooping around by a staff member. She's escorted to the facility office, faculty, and we have to get her out before the principal gets here. Because if not, I'm not gonna lie, they'd probably kill her. It's not stated that they'd do that, but with how complicit the principal is when it came to covering up the fire incident. Hi, so future Lopal here. A bit of a correction. It was the videos and pictures that were found underneath the drama classroom that Superintendent Moore wanted Principal Lee to have destroyed. It's on good assumption that they would probably kill Vivian because she saw what was in that room. She knows too much. So it's time for a stealth montage. Damn it, Vivian. There we go.
Gotta go, quick. You read my mind. Let's move. Whoa, not this
And
way.
we're home.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh no! Wrong way, wrong way! U-turn, U-turn! There's a bit of a time lapse as we slowly fade into an article about Sunnyside High. Sunnyside High shut down for investigation. Sunnyside High School in Sunnyside, North America, plunged into chaos after a student uncovered a conspiracy implicating Superintendent Moore, leading to its abrupt closure. 20 years after the school fire, the tragedy still haunts the community, with revelations surfacing that the facility suppressed unsavory details of the incident. However, thanks to the relentless pursuit of justice by a student, Vivian Singh, these revelations have resulted in the shocking closure of Sunnyside High, sending shockwaves through the community. Under intense scrutiny, Superintendent Moore's attempts to conceal the truth further tarnish the school's reputation. Students, staff, and the community at large are left grappling with the scandal's fallout and demanding accountability for those responsible. Ugh, fucking Jesus, that was a bitch. Oh my fucking god. A detail I missed until I was recording this bit was this article was written by Krista Castro, Chrissy Castro's mother. I hope she and everyone in the community gets the justice they deserve. Maybe the devs can allude or hint at that in the sequel? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. The game ends on a wholesome note, with Amy and Vivian happy to have one another.
I'm really glad to be here with you.
I'm really glad too. Yeah,
As they snuggle up as a horror movie starts to play,
perfect.
and everything cuts to black. And that's the end of the video. If you want to linger around and listen to me talk about something off script, feel free to linger around past this point. If you decide on leaving, I hope you have a good day. Thank you for making it this far into the video. If you got any constructive feedback for me, let me know. I do hope you have a great day, and listen to me ramble now. I thoroughly enjoyed both campaigns. I definitely liked Amy a lot more, and that's just because we had a chance to get to know her, whereas Vivian, we didn't. That being said, though, I liked Chapter 1 a lot more, mainly because of, the mystery and the travesty behind 1991 is a little more interesting than a family that's sadly now broken. And that's just primarily because of the tragedy behind it all. It's a much more sad and devastating event what was going on in chapter 1 versus chapter 2 with with Vivian. No, Amy, yeah, with Amy. And then lastly, Spotlight. What a manipulative, horrible, incel piece of shit. Like, my god. Fuck this guy. Nice guy incarnate. Just irredeemable. You know, it just sucks that we didn't get a bust out the wood chipper, but at least Vivian got to stab him in the face. I kind of want to end on why this took so long. So there's a couple things, you know, not that these are excuses. One of them was I'm learning Blender a bit. I was looking into voice acting tips because I want to be able to project my voice a little better so I don't sound tired all the goddamn time. Another one was I was looking into and understanding streaming. I think I understand it all. I just need to figure out like a schedule and a potential game I want to play. You know, as per usual, it's script writing. It's really not my greatest skill. It takes me a long while to figure out what scenes are important to talk about, how to talk about them, and then implement jokes based around them. And that goes into a whole different thing of understanding consistency and like video flow. And let me tell you, this one was really fucking hard because of the dark subject matters that was kind of talked about in both games. Like I think I did a little better in chapter 1, but again, I feel like in chapter 1 I was also reaching for a lot of jokes that didn't quite land. With this one, I went for a more narrative approach with a little bit of humor sprinkled in between, and even then I'm a little skeptical of the balancing. I don't know. Nonetheless, that's why this took so long. Anyway, I think I'm done rambling. If you have any feedback for me, please let me know down below. I'd very much appreciate like any kind of constructive feedback or criticism. I definitely welcome that. I do hope I got you to laugh at some point, despite like the negative kind of sad storytelling. If you like this kind of like more in-depth guides with like humor sprinkled in, I can do this. I honestly found that just talking about something rather than trying to be funny and talk about something at the same time was a little more appealing. Let me know down below. I hope you have a wonderful day.